And welcome back to the finishing line. I'm joined by Andrew, Sean, and Tom is finally back. Tom is back, hasn't been seen since Cheltenham, and still managed to be late today, which I just find incredible. Sean wants to know, are you late for work every day?
Am I late for work every day? No, I'm not late for work every day. I do. Everyone starts at about 7 my time, and I kind of filter in there just before 8. So you could technically say I'm late for work.
So this is what he does. He signs in, he goes off, he has his breakfast, comes back about 9.
If no one understood what Tom said there, and they probably should have because it was English, but he said everyone starts at 7, and this was in response to, are you late for work? Everyone starts at 7, and I kind of filter in there at 8, which means he is in fact an hour late for work.
I said around 7.
I never caught on to that.
They're all an hour or 2 hours ahead of me, so that's fine. Time zones before you say work-wise. Lads, we've a little bit of an issue on our hands. You'll notice the door to the cellar in here is open. I just got home. Siobhan was meant to be following me. She went shopping. So I'm at home with the dogs who haven't seen anybody all day and are very excited. So if you hear barking, I do apologise. They're going to go wild at some stage, I guarantee it.
So the room is called the cellar.
Anyway, before we start, welcome back to the finishing line. We took a little bit of a hiatus there after Cheltenham. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Do the usual. If you want to leave some comments on the show, do. We'll get to some comments today. We'll go back through them. Get Andrew to do a bit of exercise there, stand up. And
I've been doing a lot of exercise the last few weeks, Hugo.
Yeah, Andrew's back training. Tom is training. I don't see Sean, so I couldn't say if he's training.
I'm not training, Dave.
I can confirm.
He's not training.
I'm out in the paddocks.
If you are new as well, we have a website. Andrew's going to give you the details there.
TheFinishingLinePod.com. You get all latest blogs, news, our views on everything, and all that kind of jazz, tips every day. So check it out.
A few winners there too.
Yeah, winners
this week.
Oh, it was harsh today. Rachel cruising fell.
I don't think she would have won.
I don't think she would have won either.
You see the horse that tried to run out through the rail and then straightened up and won? That was deadly. I like that.
I was going into the rail.
It was good.
I thought we were watching bloody Garlic Red 2.0.
Yeah, the wrong way around. Anyway, the show this evening, I've seen a few comments saying about the review show for Cheltenham. We didn't manage to get back too soon after Cheltenham, so we kind of decided Cheltenham is done and dusted. In reality, the tips were absolutely fucking atrocious. So
Ante-Post.
To cut a long story short, the Ante-Post tips
they were
terrible,
shit this year,
and there's no real need to go through them because there was, I think, one winner. Sean had Imperial Pass, so well into Sean.
Well, at least we got a lot of value.
Two winners.
We got a lot of value.
Sean had 2 winners. There was lots of value, lots of horses tipped at great prices that either died or didn't turn up, but the value was had. And I just broke my pen there now. But there you go.
Yeah. We were due one of those years, though. It was going to happen at some stage.
I think we have 3 years in a row profit.
Yeah.
Well. Then
I feel David Jennings' pain. That's all I'll say.
Then we're going to give some flat horses to follow, and
today.
No, we were going to do that. And then I text Andrew today, and I like the flat. We know if you're new to the show, you don't know that, but I enjoy the flat. Andrew and Tom, not so much. Sean likes to have a bet in the flat. He doesn't like it. He likes winning money on it.
So he likes having a bet then.
So we changed our mind and decided we're going to do an Ante-Post show for the Irish Grand National and the English Grand National. And we're going to try and give you 2 horses each. Tom may or may not have more than 2 because he would in these big handicaps. But I know that he likes one horse in particular for the English National. And then we're going to go through some comments and stuff to finish up the show. Before we start, Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm back to myself now since I'm training now. Plop.
Feel better? Told you would.
And I might be coming out of retirement next season.
No.
No. Just over 35s league now. Be eligible for that.
Oh, very good. Yeah,
Might come out.
excellent. Well done.
Thanks. Well done for being old. Yeah.
Tom, how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, enjoying a suntan, which I got from a couple of cheeky weeks away. Didn't see much of Cheltenham. Not advisable, lads, going away and when Cheltenham's on. Yeah. The main thing was we got to see Honeysuckle on an iPad in the Airbnb, and the neighbours thought we were a little bit crazy. But that was obviously the highlight. Another highlight I will hold my hands up was watching the Gold Cup, and I couldn't get it on the feed for a while, and the picture was all a little bit blurry.
I want to tell. I would like to tell this story. When we get around, and I'll tell this story.
Oh, this is a great story.
Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Dave. Go on, kick into the story because it's well worth it.
Go on, Dave.
So Tom does, like, as everybody knows, his each way bets are his horses to place, and Saint Maur was one, and Statler was the main one for the Gold Cup. Pretty much like Janadil was last year for the Ryanair, which managed to come second. So happy days. So Tom was steady on this Statler since Leopardstown, since Double Racing Festival. Text in Friday morning to Cheltenham. How is Statler that price?
How is Statler this big?
Yeah.
And no one really answered or said anything positive at all regards that.
I think everyone answered, but none of it was positive.
Everyone had their opinion in regards Gallop and the Champ and Conflated and so on and so forth. So off they went anyway. Statler was being rode along. There was another one being rode along too, wasn't there?
Indo
and Statler were being rolled along. So we were sitting in the pub anyway. And Statler gets pulled up. I said to Andrew, that didn't really go very well for Tom, did it?
No.
The race finishes anyway, Gallop and the Champ. I think when the horse came down, and I believe it was probably Sounds Russian, because that's the only kind of jacket that looks the same. So that was five out.
He knows horse racing, lads. It's okay.
That was 5 out. After the race, I think someone commented in Tom's text about Statler being too big a price. I was like, this aged well. Tom wrote back, not much I can do if he falls 5 out. I wrote back, brought down 5 out. I wrote back, Tom, he was pulled up on the first circuit. He was watching the wrong horse for the entirety of the race.
The video was blurry, and I thought it was Sounds Russian. And he got brought down, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. It wasn't him at all.
Turns out he was already in the paddock.
The picture was clear as day, but Tom might have had one too many wines in him. And
yeah,
I think that's what happened.
I think there was a few texts in. Tom, are you drunk again?
Yeah. There was a lot of tequila drank in South Africa.
It was such a delayed reaction because we at that stage
the mare's chase was over.
Yeah, we had stopped laughing about Statler. 5 minutes had passed at that stage because the race goes on for about 9 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever it is. Not Tom's horse has gone already. Then Tom texts in, "Damn it, he got brought down 5 out."
I had to look at it about three times and show it to you. I was like, he's hardly.
Yeah. 2 weeks on. 2 weeks on the beer.
Proud of you, Tom. Well done.
Thank you. And straight into the open morning, Andrew.
Was a great day, Tom. Kids loved it. Got the feed. I'd never seen a horse to eat as many carrots as I did yesterday in my whole life. Manila Indo literally ate a massive bag of carrots, and my son was probably the cause behind it because he was just shoveling them into him every
He deserves a few carrots.
Probably the reason he was under the pump for 3 miles of the Gold Cup, but we won't.
No. I'm telling you now, if he's going to Punchestown, he needs a prep run now before or after yesterday.
Yeah, he's a few too many carrots. What about Fernie's younger brother?
What about him?
Old Glass Legs' brother. Why? I'm telling you.
Glass Legs 2.0. I'm not picking you up off the ground again. This fella ends up breaking down.
Oh, no. I know what they're after doing, sir.
He's probably have to get injured going on to the boat over to Willies.
See, Fernie was so immature in his first 2 bumpers. They've given this chap time to grow into his.
He does look less. He does look less mental than him now. In fairness, he looked fair straightforward-ish.
I'm all in anyway.
When he won the bumper,
I'm all in.
In fairness, Willie did say he couldn't get him ready for the champion bumper, so I reckon he might have that kink that Fernie had.
Yeah. In his head, not his legs.
His head is mental.
His head.
I'd say
and there's smoke coming down. Just going to go and check the fire. Back in a minute.
Tom's house is apparently on fire.
Usually don't get this anywhere else. But yeah,
Key-
it was a nice performance. I liked it. Not gonna
Key
lie.
Buckley, he looks like Gallopin. Yeah, he's that kind of color. He's very dark. Fernie's a bit like that too, though. But if he's half the talent that Gallopin has, I will be delighted.
Yeah,
Your hook, line, and sinker.
Oh,
Then
I'm a full brother.
that has you by the balls already.
Full brother.
Sure, there's another full brother of Vassile being born there on Paddy's Day.
And he's a sister and another brother.
yeah.
You are screwed for the next 5 years.
Vega's popping him out as much as she bloody won Mayor's hurdles. Isn't
Yeah,
she?
I'm
Boom.
screwed now, and Honeysuckle starts popping them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You back, next question.
Yes.
Have you back there for the Supreme?
I come back to him 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, a blogger Casey was on to me about him, and I knew he was coming out. I had read about him, and I was waiting for his bumper. And then last week, I was excited.
You're going to cover yourself at Ballymore, just in case.
No.
No.
Ballyburn is going to the Ballymore.
True.
Oh Lord.
That's true.
What's
What's this oh Lord about?
Why would I do? Why would I waste time?
Listen, I don't want to be listening to you
Because
the
I
week
don't
before
want the game to
Cheltenham.
come.
No.
The Sunday where declarations are out before Cheltenham. I don't want it to come down that. Oh look, Fernie 2.0 is not in the Supreme. He's going to the Ballymore. I just want to make sure you're okay. That's all. That's what friends do.
Fernie was never. Fernie was injured, so he's never going anywhere. Still injured. I really want to see him. I want to see if he's alive.
That was a long
no
drive back.
pictures of that horse.
Yeah, there actually isn't.
None.
Oh,
None.
it's like Shergar. Woo, missing.
It's not good. Like, I had something else to say there. No, that's totally not forget. It'll come back to me.
Coming back.
Will it come back to me?
No, it won't.
I don't think it will.
No, it won't.
Okay, we'll start with the Irish National. It's
Shit.
next Monday,
It is.
a bank holiday Monday for everyone here in Ireland. Easter Sunday.
It's not a bank holiday in England.
Maybe it's a bank holiday in England too. Actually, Tom, is your
Tom-
house okay?
Tom has enough of the dogs. Fuck them. They can burn.
Wow.
No, yeah, the fire's fine. Siobhan's just got back. I've got one dog in with me. Could go wild at any time, but she can deal with everything else now. So house isn't on fire. Main thing.
Good. That's good.
Finally, Chelsea have sacked Potter. Lol.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true. I presume it is. He should have
They
been
were-
sacked about 3 months
they were
ago.
having a meeting there today.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, he's gone.
Brendan Rodgers went as well today.
Yeah, look, your man Conte, the mad fella, he's gone as well. They're all gone. We'll start with the Irish one.
Potter's gone.
Breaking news.
For anybody that didn't know,
See, no, that was like
Potter is
that was like
sacked from
Statler.
Chelsea.
That was like the Statler. 5 minutes late.
Tom, did you see Fernie's younger brother by any chance?
Did Dave? I did.
Wait.
Do you know what? Me and Puddy watched that in the gym. Puddy was halfway through a workout. I was holding off on my warm up until I watched Fernie's brother. You were hard working away. Me and Puddy were just watching the race. So.
Yeah, I had to watch the replay later that evening. But
You didn't stop everything to watch this.
actually, I couldn't. It was too
You
busy.
have disappointed.
Tom, I
me.
tell you, it was very busy that day in here, wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah, very busy.
Very busy. Sean, you're going to go first. 2 selections each from us all. First Ante-Post selection for the Irish Grand National on Easter Monday 2023. Give us the winner. Go.
I'm gonna try and give you 2. I'll start off with the bigger price one.
Two winners.
and a
One
bit-
race.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you dead heat.
Lad.
It's gonna be Busselton. He's 25-1. I think this might have been the aim for him all along. He's been put away after his run in the Hennessy. What's it known as now? The Labrook Chase or something like that.
Labrook.
Hennessy.
It's the Lamilos race.
Yeah, sorry. He's been put. He was. He ran in that. I think he ran a great race. He went off for a pace that day where I just think he went too hard, and he didn't quite get home. But he was then put away, and he came back out and napping over 2.5 miles the other day. Any second now won the race, and I think that was a pipe opener to put him right for this. I think it's been a name I'd imagine since the Kerry National back in the stall, and at 25-1, I think he's a bit of a bigger price. And then I'm not going to tell anyone that they don't know, but the second selection is going to be the Devil's Coachman. I have to have him in here. I think he's 10-1. He is the favourite, but 10-1 is no bad price. I don't think. I think he's been transformed completely. When he stepped up the 3 miles, he's jumping. He's been able to jump at the pace. he hasn't been taken off his feet. And he came out the last day. I tried to look. I wasn't too sure whether he had to qualify. I don't know if any of you know. I don't know if you need a certain amount of runs. I didn't know why he ran down at Limerick when he beat Grandero Bello that day. I was trying to figure out if he needed to have a certain amount of runs over 3 miles or not. But I imagine they're going to go off here and off away. He's going to carry a flyweight. He's going to be down to 10 stones. And I think if he gets, listen, it's a Grand National, he need a clear round and a bit of luck on his side. But I definitely think he's going to be smack bang there in the finish.
Very good. Andrew, you're next.
I will start off with the main selection, and it's the same as Sean. It's Devil's Coachman. This thing is on all ability that I think this fella possesses. I think he's absolutely chucked in. He was a quite decent hurdler last season, but this year he's been transformed by fences. He won his first chase start at Galway, beating Churchtown Mario, who's gone on and won a great race since and been behind Galliard de Mesnil. He last week was just he traveled so lazily. He jumped around, and once Dennis O'Regan went for him, there was so much under that bonnet. It wasn't even funny. This to me is as obvious as Shut the Front Door ran in this. I think there's going to be a mountain of money on this thing come today. He's 10-1 now. I think he's as short as 7 with Paddy Power. I can see this thing going off as short as Shut the Front Door, like 5-2, 11-2, or 5-1, 11-2. I think there's that much left in the bonnet. That was only his 4th run over fences, so there's going to be a lot left to improve on. He's just a class animal in what realistically is, I'll just get the race up in front of me here, which realistically is not a great race. Sorry now, bear with me 2 seconds. I think, who's the second favourite? The Lord Liar.
Yeah,
Lord
Larry. Lord Larry is I have Paddy Power's prizes here. 7-1 Giants, second favourite. Stumptown, who was second at Cheltenham, is 9s. Panda Boy is decent enough. Galliard, by all known, he's going to Aintree. Tenzing have Malammission, and he's had a hard race at Cheltenham. Angels Dawn would have a good chance. If you look at it from that aspect, they're high quality handicappers. I know this is a handicap, but you're always looking for the graded horse in this race. And to me, the Devil's Coachman sticks out like a sore thumb as the graded horse in this race, with a very, very manageable racing weight. I think there's a hell of a lot more to come out of him. He's 10-1 now. If you wanted to back him, I'd back him now every day of the week, because I have no doubt in my mind this horse could half in price come the day. I think he'll take one hell of a beating him here. He travels well, jumps well. He switches off. There's no real kinks to him. I think this has been his target all season. I think he's going to take a lot of beating at 10-1. One at a bigger price, and one who's had a very luckless season, is Amorite for Henry de Bromhead. Ran in a lot of good races this season. Got pushed off by Jack Kennedy. Rachel got pushed off by Jack Kennedy one day when at Leopardstown. It ran in the race that the Devil's Coachman got given to when he was beaten by Ramillies. There was a lot of money from that day. I think he, on the basis of that now, he's in off a nice weight now, because he hasn't really finished his races properly. He's either been pushed or hit one and stopped. I think there's a bit left to work with there. 25-1, he's worth an each way chance, and Henry's horses are still running well. I'd have a little bit on him as well. So Devil's Coachman, the main one. I think if you want to back him now, back him now. William Hilly's 10-1. I think everywhere else he's shorter. He's around 8-7s with different ones. And Amorite, he's about 25-33-1. They would be my two. Lifetime Ambition as well. If he gets in a rated amount in front, he might play a role as well in the places.
Tom?
This is going to get very, very, very boring, but I am going to put up the Devil's Coachman as well. You just can't get away from him, like what the lads were saying. For me, he just stands out like a sore thumb and screams Irish national horse. He's off 145. He's now gone up to 152. He won well the last day, and very well, I think. He's beaten Ramillies. You know he's going to stay. He's the unexposed type in the field. He's super consistent. And as Andrew says, 10-1 is not that bad of a price. Like if they decide he's the one and they get well stuck into him, he could end up 4-1 easily, I think. They could get well stuck into that, lad. Should be mentioned as well, Noel Mead is in really, really good form. I know he's been very quiet, maybe kind of the start of this season, the back end of last year, but his horses are running really, really well at the minute. Apart from the one I backed at Dundalk called Foreign Policy, who ran shite, but that's typical, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I think he stands out like a sore form. I think they'll get well stuck into him potentially, and I think he's got a hell of a chance. Dave, you're right. I have got 3 for this, but I'm going to make up for it on the English National because I've only got 1. So the other one that I'm quite keen on now, this lad is Enter the Aintree as well. Is Henry's horse Ain't That a Shame? Another lad who kind of got his head in front of the lesser race. I know the Devil's Coachman won a graded race, but that was a bit of a lesser race for him as well. And the same with Ain't That a Shame. He's got that big handicap form. He's 4th at Leopardstown in the Paddy Power. He's 2nd at Limerick, beaten ahead by the big dog. And I think if Sean O'Keefe could have that ride back, I think he'd probably get his head in front. And Leopardstown, Rachel kind of dropped the reins. I'm not really sure what happened, but he was only beaten a length. But at 2 races, he travelled very well in. I think he stays very well. I think he's a big price, actually. I think he's 16 to 1 or something like that. Yeah, I think, yes, you can get 20s, I think, about Ain't That a Shame with Paddy Power and Betfair. I think that's very fair, to be honest. I've no idea if he's going for this or going for Aintree, so don't put a gun to my head on that one. But if he goes for this, I'd really, really fancy him. The one I'll throw in there as the outsider, let me just have a look what price he is. Ooh, he's a big price. He's not that big of a price. 33 to 1 is Diol Kerr. You've got to forgive him his last run where he bombed out at Punchestown. But if he can, he's got good handicap form again, 2nd in that Paddy Power. I'm not saying he's going to win. He doesn't win that often. But if you can get extended places, he's another horse that stays fairly well. So I've no doubt that he'll be in the first 5 or 6 anyway, if you can get those extended places on the day. So I'd go with Diol Kerr, the Devil's Coachman, and Ain't That a Shame.
Okay, very good. I like to have a look what Gordon's running in the Irish National. Always throws a few darts at it, usually for Gigginstown. The 2 of Gordon's I like this year are Chemical Energy and Aintree Meadow. Aintree Meadow we haven't seen since the start of the year, I presume, waiting for a bit of better ground. So hopefully it won't be too soft.
Jesus Christ almighty. The shit out of me.
The dog agrees. So it would be...
Dog just opened the door and that was impressive.
Yeah, that was impressive, to be honest. It looked like the dog opened the door anyway. Chemical Energy shorter in the betting, but I think Aintree Meadow has a good enough chance. Running kind of over 2 miles, 2 mile 3. If you remember then last year as a novice, he was up the top of the betting for the Galway Plate, which Hewick won. So I think he stepped up and Trip has a good chance. And then one each way who runs well and race after race every single season is Durasso. Joseph's horses are in form. He generally just turns up, will get you each way money. He'll probably get 4 places, but on the day he might get 7, and he will most likely run into 4th or 5th because that's what he does. The Devil's Coachman has a good chance, but it never really works out that way. Gaillard de Mainil had a great chance last year and was a certainty and so on and so forth, and Lord Lariat won at 66 to 1, and Free Will and Dillon won at like 150 to 1 the year before. So not for me. And Quealy usually has a horse for this. I looked through it, doesn't have one this year. But his horses are generally informed this time of year, so that's something to look out for. Okay. Selection again, Andrew.
The Devil's Coachman to win and Am I Right each way.
Tom.
The Devil's Coachman, Diol Kerr, and Ain't That a Shame.
Sean.
Yeah, the Devil's Coachman to win and Bustleton each way.
Durasso each way for me, and then between Gordon's 2, Aintree Meadow and Chemical Energy. Okay, on to Aintree. Tom, take it away.
Yes. So I've won 1 dart and 1 dart only for this. This may sound mental because it's a Grand National, but all you need is 1 bet in this year's Aintree Grand National. So confident about this horse winning, I'm actually going over to the race. It's going to be my first time at Aintree, and I cannot wait. The winner of the 2023 Grand National is Lamilos. I am so keen on this horse. He ticks a lot of boxes for me. He travels so well during his races. He stays. He goes on any ground. He jumps well. He's won a Hennessy. He's done it in a big handicap. I still think he's well handicapped. He's only off 152. It's only £6 higher than the Hennessy win when they were miles clear. And I think he just kept finding when Remastered came to him. Some people are on about the Kelso run last time. Look, the Skelton was coming out screaming, saying this horse has 1 target and 1 target only, and that's the Grand National. He is not 100% fit. Harry kicked on about 5 out, which is the only slight concern for the Grand National.
He might kick on at that road crossing.
Oh, I can just see the Mellon Road, and they switch commentators, and the first thing he says, and Harry Skelton takes it up on Lamilos, and you just throw your betting slips in the bin. But if that doesn't happen, I think he's got a hell of a chance. But yeah, the Kelso race, look, travelled like much the best horse. He went bloody 10 lengths clear, and he just got nailed on the line when he was getting really tired. He's got enough of a gap in between those races. For me, I think he's got a hell of a chance. There is a stat. I think it's Bala Briggs and another Norman horse, both got beat in that Kelso race before winning the Grand National. And that's something I really, really like, that kind of an angle. So I wouldn't be worried about that run at all. Look, I'm mad keen on him. It should come with the little asterisks that one of my best friends did buy the horse from France. But I think that just means that I followed this career way closely, way closely than I normally would have. And since he's gone to Skelton, he's gone on again. I think he's just an older horse, to be honest. But yeah, look, I'm mad keen on him. I really think he'll win. He will be my biggest ever financial winner if he wins. So fingers crossed.
Okay, well, best of luck, Tom. I'll go next because I actually like Lamilos too.
You're really crackly.
How about now?
Still crackly. No, move it away a little bit, maybe? I don't know.
How about now?
Even worse.
What about now?
Yeah, still bad. You're just going to have to go with it.
Am I crackly?
Yeah.
No.
It's a connection. Yeah, it's a connection. I'd say.
Sean, you go.
Yeah. So my first pick in the race, it's going to be Lamilos as well. Tom covered it. I think. Yeah, he's one of my 2 picks. Yeah, I really liked him winning the Hennessy. And he had Corey Gramble back and forth that day. The form looks decent as well. As Tom said, I thought he had the Kelso. I'd definitely be raising my eyebrows at the Harry Skelton rise there. He kicked on way too early, and he just fell in the hole coming up the hill. But I think that put him right for this, and I definitely think he has a bit of wiggle room left. But my other selection is gonna be the big dog. He's 25-1 each way. I think he started off this season by winning the Munster National and Detroit Town, and he's laced in stamina. I wouldn't be too worried about him staying. He then went to Welsh National, where he carried a big weight on heavy ground, and I think he just got the better of him in the later stages, and he then went on to finish third. But his run at the DRF is what grabbed me. I think he was running the career best at the DRF. He swung in and he took the lead, gone to the second last. Unfortunately, he did fall, so we'll never know. But I think he's, at the age of 10, I think he's run the best he has in his career. I think there's a little fault there is his jumping, but the Grand National doesn't take as much jumping. The fences don't take as much jumping as they used to. He has a big enough weight on his back, but I think he'd be able to carry it. And at 25-1 in here, I think the big dog, I think, as I said, I think he's coming to the best he's ever been. And I think he's a big price.
Very good. Am I still crackly?
No.
Okay, you fixed it. Well,
Yeah, sure, that's what I do.
I was going to row in there with Lemilos, and Sean stole my thunder because I wanted to go second. But there you go. In the national, much like the Irish one, I would try, in my opinion anyway, to be not backing horses that are less than 10-1. I want a double figure price. And although it's become kind of a better race, the standard of the horses and stuff, the weights still matter in my opinion. I don't think there's any star like Tiger, and I didn't even back Tiger the year second year he won it, went off 4-1. It's way too short for me in a race that so much can go wrong, and you've 30 fences to jump and 40 runners and so on and so forth. So I don't fancy Noble Yates whatsoever. I think he's carrying way too much weight. His whole season was geared around the Gold Cup this year, whereas last year he kind of came in under the radar. He was codded around in a few races, educational rides, I would say. Whereas this year he's been trying all year, and I don't think he has snowball's chance in hell in the national this year. Carrying 11-11 or whatever he's going to be carrying, it's just too much weight for me. Off the top of the market, I think Corach Rambler has a good chance. Even though he throws in the odd kind of mad jump, he just stays all day. He's done it twice at Cheltenham now. Come from uncompromising positions and just being very, very impressive at the end. But the couple of outsiders I picked are Cromwell's horse, Vanillier, who's a really slow horse and definitely needs a trip way over 3 miles, so it might suit him. Sean, I remember he was backed off the boards at Dublin Racing Festival for the handicap up there, and I think he got 2 fences and he was brought down or fell or unseated. And then somehow was given £8 to Kemboy the last day. I can't understand that. And was beaten half a length. Kemboy is what he is, but he's a grade 1 horse on most days. He's retired now. He's won 4 grade 1s in his career, so nice horse. I like him each way. Thomas Gibney's horse, Velvet Elvis. I liked him at the start of the season. I thought he'd do much better in the big race at Navan at the start of the season, but he's come back to form now. He was second to Annie's second now the last day. I think it was over 2 miles, so that never would have suited. I'd like to see him running here as the right end of the weights. And then the 2 lads have already touched on Lemilos. His form is just very strong. I wouldn't really be worried that he lost the last day. It was definitely jockey error. He kicked on way too early and used the horse's energy way too early. He travels unbelievably well. He did the same, I think it's at Bangor, the first race of the season, and then again in the Ladbroke, he traveled so well and stayed on to beat Remastered and Jericho Rocket. The right kind of horses for that race, because Pipe's 2 horses there that day were very well handicapped. So I think Lemilos is a great chance, and then the 2 outsiders are Vanillier each way and Velvet Elvis each way.
Full house, Andrew.
No. I'm going against the grain. I like him. I've no qualms against him whatsoever, in the slightest. I think he has a great chance, and he's a good price. I'm going against the total grain with this Noble Yates thing. I think this thing has an unbelievable chance. What I'll say about it as well, right? A lot of people fancy conflate for this and said he was well handicapped and all this jazz. This fella finished up the arse conflating in the Gold Cup. I don't really buy into the whole. His whole season was geared around the Gold Cup. It wasn't geared around the Gold Cup.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't geared around the Gold Cup. He was
it
going
literally
back.
Was like
It wasn't. This race has been.
He's been running in grade 2s all year. Like.
Yeah, Many Clouds done that before as well. And you said it's not a horse like Tiger Roll in this. He's better than Tiger Roll. That's just a plain out and out fact. He's a better chaser than Tiger Roll. True or not?
Tiger Roll is a legend.
Tiger Roll is a legend, a Grand National legend. But the facts and whatever you want to look into, all your numbers and everything else, he's a better horse than Tiger Roll.
Do you think he's a 170 horse?
I wouldn't have him that high, no.
He's off 166. If he wins this, he's going to be off 172 in the next round.
And ever since the changes in this race and the fences, it's the classier horses that win it. You have your one for Arthurs, you have your Many Clouds, your Tiger Rolls, your
One for
Manila
Arthur was
Times.
not a classy horse.
One for Arthur was a
It's
decent
a
horse.
handicapper.
And Tiger Roll won twice, Manila Times won it.
Manel Times a handicapper as well. I'll
Okay,
give
no
you.
matter what I'm going to say
I'll
about
give
this
you-
horse, you're going to qualm it anyway. So
I'll give you the Hemmings horse. He's a grade 1 horse.
right. You right off what happened to Atoy. No one knows what happened to Atoy. He got pulled up at that start of the season. He came back and he won at Wexford, as you like. Won at Aintree. Then he won the Many Clouds Chase. That's when they started saying, "Oh Jesus Christ, this fella could have a chance in the Gold Cup." So obviously you're going to have a crack at it anyway on the way to the Aintree. Ran a good race in the Cotswold, stayed on all day long. He then finished like an absolute train in the Gold Cup to finish up the Arse Conflated. I don't mind top weights and big handicaps like this. I know it's a national. This is a race where the classier horse do tend to run the best. But last season, he finished 2.5 lengths in front of any second now. And it was 20 odd lengths back to third. And then it was another 11.25 back to fourth, 8 back to fifth, 2.25 back to sixth, 19 back to seventh, 13 back to eight, another 9.5 back to. You can't say he's not a good horse, and he's proven this year he's improved again this season. He's still only an 8-year-old. It's not like he's 9 or 10 coming into here. He's still on the improve. I think this fella has a great chance of winning back-to-back Grand Nationals. Again, weights in big handicaps like this, if you're a classy horse, you're well able to lump it around. And you know he's going to stay all day and he's going to be bang there to finish. 8-1, yeah, granted, it's not a great price. But I think he has a massive chance on the back of all that. If you fancy Conflated, you'd have to fancy this fella.
I would not have fancy Conflated, and I like Conflated a lot.
Yeah, but I don't. The weight wouldn't really bother me in the slightest in these kind of races. Even when I'm looking at the handicaps, I tend to go for the top end.
Before you go on, I'll give you the last 15 winners, the weights carried.
Yeah, but then, you totally just missed what I said as well.
Nobody
Ever since the fences have been changed, it's become the best horse wins. It's not all about the jumping now and the staying.
I'm just giving you the weights.
I just told you. I don't
10,
care.
10.
You just literally talking to walls like
10-3, 11-5, which was Tiger, 10-13, Tiger, 10-11, 10-7.
Tiger Roll carried 11-6 and
It was 11-5. Manny Clouds carried 11-9. I give you that he was a proper grade 1 horse. Pinot de Rey, 10-6. Aurora's Encore, 10-3. None of them are classy horses. Neptune Calange carried a big weight. Again, beaten by the likes of Cota Star and them, top horse. Then 11, and then push it. 11.
So Nobody Ace was beaten by Gallopman, Deschamps, Brave Man's Game, and Conflated. They're not class horses then, no?
Neptune Calange carried 11-6, and you think Noble 8's going to carry 11-11?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with that? Like, just because you think it's wrong doesn't mean it has to be wrong.
I literally said it. He has a snowball's chance in how to carry that way around.
How?
Because he won't.
Like
carry it and then he'll go, okay, I've had enough now.
Under what?
Under the fact that he'll be too heavy.
Under the fact that Dave O'Keefe doesn't think he can.
I'm just telling you. I guarantee he won't. He won't win.
19 pounds higher than when he won last year.
Yeah, I know he is.
Pounds. That's a lot.
And is he not a better horse than he was last year?
He probably is. Yeah, his form says he is. But does it say he's 19 pounds better? I don't know.
And
I just win 2 nationals, and there's a reason why.
There's this underlying thing that it's definitely a better race. Better horses go for the race. That's fact now since like 10 years ago. But there's this underlying thing that classier horses do better in it. That's not necessarily a fact. The 2 really classy horses that have won it are Manny Clouds and Neptune Calange. They carried high weights to it. But they were every day of the week proper grade 1 3-mile chasers. If you think Noble Yates is a proper grade 1 3-mile chaser that's going to keep running well in Gold Cups, then so be it. I do not.
That's great. I never said that about he's going to run well in Gold Cups after this. I just think, considering what he's done so far this season, the way he's finishing in these races, still speaks to me that he is a horse that's still improving at the age he's at. You have to remember, Neptune Calange was 10 when he won it?
He could have been 11
Actually,
actually.
10, 11 when he won it. It was his last race of his career.
He was 11.
Yeah, Tiger O was 10 or 9 or 10 as well.
Tiger Roll was 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Nobody Yates was 7. Manel Times was 8.
Like, if he's at an age that he's at the age where he could be still improving, I get the whole thing. Oh, he's 19 pounds higher. Yeah, last year he was just as you said, he was trying out the back in a few races. I'm going to keep this handicap mark. But this season, everyone knows what he is, so he's running the better races. I understand the weight could get the better of him. But then again, he is improving still. And he's proven at the track. He's 2 from 2 at Aintree. Obviously, one was on the Mile May course and one's at the Grand National course. He obviously comes alive there. The track suits him down to the ground. If he's good enough, he'll carry the weight. If he's not, he won't. That's plain and simple. But I think he is good enough to carry it. Time will tell.
Do you have a second selection?
I do.
That was only the first one.
What? It's 10
That was
page.
only the first.
See, this is what it's like when we have to listen to you, Don. Second one, Galliard of Mesnil. A horse that I think will relish this trip. It'll be ran at a pace. I can't believe he got actually outpaced in the National Hunt Chase, according to Patrick. But I think this is a little suiting down to ground. He's a 7-year-old. He's at the right age again. He could be one still improving. It's not a grade 1. He has grade 1 form. That's what I like coming into these grade 1 form. Always comes to the fore. He's a bit of an enigma in a way. He could run really, really well, or he could just not take it to the fences. He's 14.60 to 1. I think he's a fair price at that. At least you know he'll stay at the trip and stay very well. He has the back class of the grade 1 form. He's coming off a win at the Cheltenham Festival. Doesn't matter what the ground will do, he'll go on it. I think he'll run well for a long, long way at 14 to 1. He's carrying 11 stone, which is grand for him, I'd say. Yeah, I'd give him an each way chance, 14 to 1. Yeah.
Any other each way shouts, men? Or are we happy with what we have, Tom? I know you only picked Lemilos.
I got one other each way. His name, Dan Skelton Trace of Lemilos. Yeah, back him each way as well.
Very good. Very good, Tom. Very good. It's a hard race to get the winner of. I'm sure anybody that's commenting there or watching, Tom's saying it's not, but it's a very hard race to get the winner of. Going back through the winners, they are those two horses that carried a lot of weight, Neptune Collonge and Manny Clouds. They were 33 to 1 and 25 to 1. So there probably is a classy one in there somewhere that's overpriced. Galvin's carrying a lot of weight, but maybe he'll get his ground. Gordo is 1 or 2. But yeah, tough race to get the winner of.
It is. It's a hard race, but it's a good spectacle, if anything.
I think in the last 10 years, it's all been all double figure prices, bar Tiger at 4 to 1. And then the last one before that was single figure prices was Tom.
Oh, don't push it.
Single figure prices was, AP, yeah.
And
then Tiger.
And who else?
Red Rum?
No. You'll never get it.
Single figure prices.
Single figure prices. And don't
give us a decade.
And don't push it wasn't single figures either. He was 10 to 1, so that's double figures. It was 2 years before Don't Push It.
2 years before Don't. Oh, Hedge Hunter. No.
David Johnson colours. Neptune was 33 to 1. Yeah, someone
comply or die.
Got in the comments before you. Comply or die, yeah. He went off favourite. 7 to 1 favourite he went off.
Comply or die.
Okay. Let's have a few comments there if Andrew would like to get up and skim through them.
Dave, for the laugh, I was looking at a couple of things today. Would you know how long the Grand National goes on for? Do you know how long?
There's a good one. For fuck's sake, Andrew. Noble and Galliard, what you've been drinking.
No, do you know what the thing is, Michael? I've after giving up drinking that. Tom, you can do that. I can't reach it. You do that.
Sean, the race as a whole, it's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes it takes. Like that's some whopping. It's a whopping time for a horse to be running.
Vanillia's jumping in last year's National Hunt Chase from the worst I've ever seen. Correct. I can't see that horse getting round at all.
He's having a field day here now, Tommy.
Andrew, I think
he's allowed to jump better. Like he's learning a little bit.
For fuck's sake, he makes more sense than a baldy fella.
Someone said I look like Eric Ten Hag.
What the fuck happened today then?
Yeah, sure. Look, they're fucking useless. They're useless. Go on, Tom. A few
Tom.
more.
Tom, have you any runners? Have you any runners at Leopardstown on Wednesday, Tom? I'm heading out to student race day. Can we get a runner down?
I wouldn't come out of there alive. Okay, here we go. Here's a good one. Very good comment from David. Lewis, you bum. Tom Rain, put the E on the end, please. Very knowledgeable fellow. I would follow him with my comrades. He is good, you know.
Comrades, he is definitely South African.
Well done, David. Martin Lewis says Noble Yates isn't winning off this weight. If you think anything other than racing isn't for you, Andrew
Martin is having an absolute field day today.
I think this is what we'll be saying to Andrew after Noble Yates pulls up in the Grand National. Please don't cry.
Don't cry. Yeah, I've spoke to Andrew about this already. I don't think he'll finish, and I think a couple of people said it as well.
Game for opinions.
Is John McConnell's long lost twin brother? Yes, he is. He's the image of John McConnell.
Well, none of them have been seen in the same room together.
A Cheltenham Festival trainer winner now, Tom.
Well done, Tom.
Festival winning trainer. Yeah, well done, John. Fair play to you.
You could do something that McNeil's couldn't do. Make one of the horses win at Cheltenham.
Tom, can I ask, what's the wildest price you have Laminos at?
30 frees. I got and most of my bet is at 30 frees. After he got beat at Kelso, he drifted out to 30 frees. It was madness. But he's 25 on Betfair for a few pennies, but you can back him at 20.
You also told me Galliard Nesnil hasn't a snowball chance to win the National Hunt Chase.
I actually don't think he would have. Man, Mission stayed in his feet, but you have to jump defences. You have to jump defences. And to be fair, the week at Cheltenham, I looked at the race and said, if you don't win, you just want to be shot.
This shows how much I talk to Henry about other stuff. I was literally there talking to him yesterday. Ain't that a shame he's going to Aintree. Wonderful.
Can you please get Envoy Allen a new coat, by the way?
Don't start, Dave, for fuck's sake.
Come on, he's holding the fort out there, like.
He's still having the time of his life running around a bit of muck.
Just a new coat. That's like he
probably wasn't new until he bloody
fucking new. It's the same one I was there on 2 years ago when I was there. I have the picture.
They're like your boxes, Dave. They're like your boxes. They just, you never throw them away. They have 20 holes in them. You never get rid of them.
Indo fucking pull up in the Gold Cup, getting a bag of carrots. Envoy can't even get a fucking new coat, like.
Envoy was lording it up out there.
Ryanair winner. Grade 1 winner down Royal. He's going to win an Aintree as well.
But do you like him? No.
I'm back in his corner now because
he won.
When he gets it, when he gets a new coat, I'll be out again.
Buy him a coat.
I just feel bad for him. Like.
Buy him a coat.
Here's a serious one now. John says, any tips for the rest of Aintree? Anyone?
Yes, we're going to get to that. We were going to do our normal preview. I don't know what Andrew's thoughts is regards Wednesday or Thursday, because the Irish Grand National Easter Festival meeting at Fairy House is on, and if we do it Wednesday, it might be a little bit too early for decorations. So on so forth. Right.
So Irish Grand National one will be. When's that on? We do that.
No, Wednesday.
If everyone is free, Thursday. Will you shut up? And the week after that is the English one, so we'll do that the Thursday. We'll do two of them on the Thursday.
We will definitely have tips for the rest of Aintree. We'll do a preview for that, and we will do one for the Irish Grand National meeting as well towards the end of the week.
Then the Punchestown one will be on the Sunday before Punchestown.
Did you say that we're doing the Aintree one the Thursday of Aintree?
No, the Wednesday, because it's Thursday,
Wednesday,
Friday.
I meant, sorry. The
Thursday,
Wednesday,
Friday,
Wednesday, sorry, yeah.
This week it'll be Thursday or Friday. Sean, you're okay. You can go to Leopardstown on Wednesday, get drunk, meet some ladies, and have a good time.
Listen, I think they're a great initiative, but just to touch on them, like there's 10,500 people going out to Leopardstown on Wednesday. I think they're a great way to get people in, like myself. I think they're great. You see, like everyone will there will love it. I'm sure it'll be all over the social medias. And we seen Limerick last week. That was a bold show. I think they're a great initiative going on, and hopefully it all goes well.
I heard
Yeah, and
they were there doing a survey asking, "Do you like the whip? Do you not
Yeah.
like the whip?"
young people don't like racing because of the whip.
If
The
anything,
10,000 people that were
they
all
like it.
kissing, drinking, gambling, and having a great time in Limerick the other day, and the 10,500 that are going to be kissing, drinking, and gambling at Leopardstown on Wednesday, they really fucking care about the whip.
I begin to think the whip turns them on.
I'm beginning to think they couldn't give a fuck about a horse racing whip, and the only whip they care about is the whip they're using somewhere else.
That's what I'm getting at.
Wow.
Oh
Sean
my
is not
God.
denying it. Sean's not denying it.
Sean's not denying it. He's taking a
Sip of water. How do I get out of this one?
I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
I
Not
wanted
speaking.
to segue into something, but I think it's probably good if we do and I move on from that. But I'm not sure it should follow that.
What is it?
Oh God! All we're getting now is Dave likes the whip. For fuck's sake, Jesus.
He does. It's not denying it. Look.
Tom,
Go
a
on,
man's
Tom.
got to do what a man's got to do. Anyway,
I just wanted to say that we may have some Pimlico news later this week. We are working on something. Well, we're working on trying to buy a horse, but he is super, super exciting. It's next level kind of stuff. Got to get vetted, and then lots of if, buts, and maybes to see if we can buy him because we're taking a huge punt. But he's exceptionally exciting. So we'll keep you updated on that. And the other thing is, I just want to say welcome to Katie Midwinter to Pimlico. She has taken over our social media content because, let's face it, we didn't have any social media content before she came on board. So yeah, welcome to Katie, much needed, and she's doing a fantastic job.
well done, Katie.
And if any have rich friends who want to buy a horse, contact Tom.
Yeah, there's some good Pimlico goings on at the moment. I'll get my grey filly out now, and we fucking buzzing.
Oh yeah, forgot you're in the grey filly.
I'm a grey filly, and Fernie's brother is alive and well and doesn't have Weetabix legs. And Lassie Mount's going to win the Mayor's Hurdle next year. All is well in the world again.
Oh, you have so many things to let you down next year.
Wow.
On that note, Lamila's going to win the Grand National. Have a good Sunday and goodbye.
I have to get up now. I need to get that.